Hi guys, welcome to the 5th instalment of Zhengzhou Unchained. I'm Tom, I'm going to be your host for this evening.
I'm tired of hosting.
And today we're going to be talking about a non-China related subject. It's going to be music. Most specifically music artists that have...
Well, what else would you talk about?
Well, yeah.
We were debating whether we were going to do albums or whatever, weren't we?
Yeah, but we've decided on the artists because we could be talking for a long time with albums. Maybe for another time, but we're going to be talking about maybe our favourite artist or our most influential artist to us in a sense. But yeah, so we'll start with our influences on music.
Yeah, like you said before we started this podcast, let's start which albums were we growing up on, and what type of genres of music were we listening to when we were very young. But yeah, who would like to kick off? Great, I'll go. Okay, so from the top of my head, so there was a few. So one of the first, so I listened to a lot of soundtracks because I was just, as a kid, that's just what I did for some reason. And one of them was the Tarzan soundtrack by Phil Collins, and that's got some fantastic songs on there, like You'll Be in My Heart. And yeah, that was just, my dad said every day after school, this was during while I was in Ecuador as well. This was living in Ecuador, yeah. And so his dad said I'd come home every day after school, whack that on and just listen to it until it ended, and then eat and then go to bed, something like that. But yeah, I'd just whack that on every single day.
He did the Brother Bear soundtrack as well. Did you hear that?
No.
That's really good.
I did watch Brother Bear, but I don't remember it at all. But yeah, no, I did not know that actually.
Yeah.
That's good.
Clearly got hired again after the success of Tarzan.
Yeah. Have you not seen Tarzan?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Was it based in Ecuador?
Tarzan. It's not far. It's not exactly far.
Yeah, possibly.
But yeah, great soundtrack. And I watched that film a few years ago again, and it was just all came flooding back to me. It was a great thing to relive. But yeah, that was definitely my earliest experience of listening to music, for sure.
Mine would be in my parents' car and listening to whatever my mum or dad had on. My mum was mainly the Beatles, stuff like that. Didn't really like the Beatles that much there, but my dad was all about the electronic 80s and Human League and Depeche Mode and stuff like that, which is fantastic. Love that stuff. Oh, it's brilliant.
You're very good at making playlists when we have to interact with
elderly people,
our parents and families and things.
I know what they like.
Yeah, you do.
And that music will never die. Fantastic. So that's me.
There's always one song from that era on our KTV nights, isn't there?
Yeah, that's true.
Always from me.
I think for me, my parents had wildly different tastes. Like my mum kind of likes a mix of ballads and sort of cheesy stuff, anything like Beyonce, Mariah Carey, all that kind of stuff. But she also likes sort of folksy things like The Beautiful South and Simon and Garfunkel and stuff. But my dad, it was his music taste that kind of got me into music the most. He likes just rock, anything rock in general, but mainly sort of like old 70s stuff. Pink Floyd is probably the biggest example of what he used to play and that I really got into, like Dark Side of the Moon and stuff. And then he also really liked the 90s stuff that were like around when he was sort of in his, I don't know, sort of younger years. He liked Oasis and Blur and just basically anything they play on the XFM and Absolute Radio and stuff like that's his genre. So that was what turned my head to music originally.
My parents were like yours, like very, very different tastes. My mum was very much a Madonna girl. that was
Nothing wrong with that.
But we didn't. I don't remember her being like massively into music. But me and my dad were like big on music. And we kind of listened to two main categories, not genres but categories. One of them was anything with a good beat, so like Missy Elliott, Basement Jaxx, Fatboy Slim, and then the other one was like humorous kind of artist, like the Lancashire Hot Pots. Weird Al was a big one.
Of course.
That's really cool.
Yeah, and then like Chris Moyle's parody albums and stuff.
President.
They're not humorous. President of the United States of America.
They are, aren't
Anyway.
they? They are.
But the main album that I listened to when I was a kid, that he introduced to me when I was like maybe 6 or 7, was the Gorillaz self-titled album, and that kind of leads us on to our favourite artists, because they've stuck with me ever since I was about 6, really, and they've been probably my favourite artist because I'd never heard music like it. I'd never ever, like 192000 was the first song I heard of theirs, and it was so strange, and I didn't know why I liked it because it was so different. And then Demon Days came out, and that was just like mind-blowing. I thought Demon Days is, like to this day, Demon Days I think is my favourite album. So yeah, Gorillaz. Thanks, Dad.
I remember my mum playing Demon Days in the kitchen when cooking or whatever, so it's a good memory.
You both have very cool mums. I think if I played Gorillaz, my mum would be like, turn that off.
Really?
Yeah,
I don't think my
same
mum's a huge fan of Gorillaz.
Yeah, my mum was very much, certainly in the, like, very much into Craig David and like any like R&B artists, like soulful singers, like before we knew he was a bad boy, R. Kelly, artists like that, very soulful, very
You've
R&B.
seen Chic with her, haven't you?
Yes.
Only recently as well, haven't you?
That was the summer. Yeah, God, they were fantastic. Chic was so good. Yeah, the bassist is unbelievable. Like, he's a slap bassist, and sick lips. and the two singers they have. There's one singer, I've forgotten her name, but she has some pipes. But obviously Nile Rodgers is an absolute legend.
Genius.
He is
Genius.
the amount of
Creative
songs
genius.
he's produced.
He's
That
the
are, like,
Kubrick of the music world.
Oh.
In the 70s, he was.
Yeah.
It was just all him, wasn't it? Everything.
Quincy
was
Jones
him.
as well.
Yeah, Quincy Jones. Like David, Nile Rodgers did that David Bowie song. Was it Put On Your Red Shoes? And I've forgotten what it's called.
Let's Dance.
That's it. Let's
Really?
Dance. Yeah, he produced
Wow.
that. He wrote Get Lucky with Pharrell and Daft Punk.
Yeah.
He's done loads
I
of
didn't
his
realise
Sister
he had such a
Slays.
wide repertoire.
It's
I literally just thought he was
incredible.
the Chic
It's
guitarist.
incredible.
Sister
He's
Sledge as
like-
well. Also.
Yeah, he's like, I guess you could call him like the producer of producers before like producing was even like recognisable as something that was very high end in the music industry.
It's a
like,
big thing now, isn't
now
it? Yeah.
producing is huge, but back then it wasn't as big. But yeah, it's huge. Sorry, I kind of interrupted you on Gorillaz, but
That's okay.
We want this to be a little bit free flowing, don't
Yeah,
we?
Yeah,
of
it's
course.
got no structure like our other
No,
ones.
it's good, but Gorillaz are fantastic.
A lot of people think that, like, at the time when I was maybe 12 or 13, I was like showing my friends, and they didn't really. Obviously, Feel Good Inc. is an all-round like crowd pleaser. You put that on, and everyone knows it.
Yeah.
And Dare and Dirty Harry. But then I'd show them things like even Demon Days, the song El Manana. They're kind of looking at me like, what is this? But if you listen to the whole album all the way through, it's written as a story, and all the songs, they flow into each other. So it's kind of like one massive track. I just think that's like,
That's kind of like Dark Side of the Moon, in that if you have an individual track, half of them are like what is this? Like, it's so strange. Sometimes it's just a bit of buzzing or whatever. But yeah, you've got to listen to the whole thing, and it makes sense.
I can only
Gorillaz
name
one.
I can only name a few Gorillaz songs, but obviously Feel Good Inc. is the one everyone knows, and it's still great to. I think that'll be played for. I think for the rest of the time while we're alive, for sure.
And 192000 as well, I think, is really iconic.
Yeah.
A lot of people won't
great.
recognise it, but if you listen to it, you'll be like, oh yeah,
I
that
think
song.
It was remixed as well, wasn't it?
Oh, the remix
very
is
famously.
Got the
Soul Child.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. See,
I
if you
don't know
listen.
that one. I don't.
Yeah.
If you listen to it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I've heard that before.
But then moving on from Demon Days,
Plastic Beach was very similar to Demon Days in the sense
Rhinestone
that
Eyes.
Yeah.
FIFA 11.
every song flowed into the next.
Yeah.
And it was really instrumental, a lot of it. But there are some like great songs on that album, like really good songs. But it's not my favourite of theirs because, in my opinion, it's not like a completely flawless album. Like Demon Days and Self-Titled. Sorry, I'm just snotting in the corner.
We're all ill,
Chinese.
and I've got a runny nose, and I'm really trying to not snort into the mic. So.
Yeah. I think just Demon Days just.
My dad bought me and him. So like they kind of disappeared for a while, and then they came back with Humans, which was their latest album, and then they hosted their own like festival. It's just a day festival in Margate, and those tickets sold out in 8 minutes. And Dad, bless him, he went on Viagogo, and Viagogo they charge you like 4 times the price. So he spent loads on the prices on the tickets, and then he couldn't go. So me and Tom went, and they were so good. It was amazing. It was really, really good.
It's one of the best.
Yeah,
I've been to.
Definitely.
And it was over many different albums. It was everything included. Not everything.
One thing I was disappointed in, but I knew it was going to happen because they did it at Glastonbury with Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Is the rap in Clint Eastwood was by
Kano and Little Sims did a bit as well, didn't she?
And that was okay, but you could hear everyone, like when it went into like the rap, everyone started to sing it, and then they realised that they changed the lyrics, and it was just
what? How did they change the lyrics?
Because it's whoever they've got as like their
support act. They come in and do the Clint Eastwood rap, but it's not the original. They have their own rap.
Oh, that's stupid.
So it was so annoying because like that's one of my I think that is my favourite Gorillaz, favourite Gorillaz song. And
they ruined
I can
it.
rap it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh.
Whoever's coming in, fair enough, having different guests and stuff, but they should do the same lyrics. Like
it was a good rap, but you could like everybody in the crowd, you could hear them singing like the first 3 lines before they realised that.
Yeah, because people
the
prepare for that, don't they? You know, you think about it's going to be fantastic, and then
Everyone's
when
like,
they're singing their own song, when they're singing their own words, nobody knows the words. What can you do apart from just like bob side to side?
Damon Albarn's not going to rap it, is he?
Well, no, of
the
course.
original rapper was.
Oh, come on, Henny.
Oh, I can't remember his name.
Anyway, they should sing the lyrics.
He's not going to be there. You can't expect them to, because the rap's really
they
long.
had De La Silva, so.
True.
But they were supporting. But anyway.
They were great, and Vince Staples was there. He was good, but his microphone was, like, he kept being loud for 1 second, and then he was like quiet.
Oh really?
But anyway.
Inexperienced. Yeah.
But yeah, that was a really great day, and it was so sunny, and it made Margate look.
Margate was fantastic. Right. Yeah. I enjoyed Margate.
It's
but
like
anyway.
a run down Brighton, but.
But yeah, that moment, Humans album, it was good. I said Moments, my favourite song from that album, but yeah, it's good. I haven't really listened to their new album recently, but
their new album, I think it's called Humility. I'm just going to double check that.
Oh, is
they
that
did
true?
have I know they had a song.
Oh, the Now, sorry.
Humility's on that.
Humility.
No, I quite like that song actually.
Yeah, it's
really,
right, yeah. It's really, they've kind of gone back a step. It's a bit more punk, like their self-titled one. Because I remember the description on iTunes being alternative punk.
Wow, I wouldn't get that
Gorillaz.
from Gorillaz ever, really. Maybe from the first, but even
but
still.
All their songs are so strange. Like, how can you possibly categorise them?
Yeah, it's the beauty.
Alternative.
Yeah, that's what they brand it under.
Not like anything else. Yeah.
That's what they do. Yeah.
So,
Not the same as what you hear in the charts.
Yeah.
So.
But yeah, Damon Albarn, genius.
Well, speaking of him,
I'll always be Team Blur forever.
I was just going to say Oasis or Blur. Yes, yeah, always Blur.
It's a 3v1 against me because, to be fair, I can't name more than one Blur song off the top of my head, and I bet you can guess which Blur song
Song
it
two.
is.
Yeah.
Correct.
What about Coffee and TV? You know that one.
Universal.
I may know it. I may
Park
know these
Life?
songs.
Come on,
okay,
you know.
Park
Park
Life.
Life.
Yeah, of course.
Bloody hell.
I did forget about that. But for me, my dad got me into that kind of rock and roll. So it was like Oasis for me. That's what I started off with, because we had Stop the Clocks compilation album, which was all their best work from the 90s. So everything from What's the Story, Morning Glory, Definitely Maybe, and I think it was another album late 90s as well. And like that had all their best songs on it. It was just so good.
But don't you think they all kind of sound exactly
This is what,
the same?
yeah. So originally I was Team Oasis, obviously having grown up on them, and I can definitely name more Oasis songs than Blur songs. And when you're younger, I think you don't want things to sound, or at least for me, I didn't like the idea of like kooky instrumental, like just the way that like Blur have it. They're a lot more experimental. Damon Albarn obviously has such a wide roster, being able to do Gorillaz and stuff, and I just wanted stuff that had great choruses and great guitar riffs and stuff. And but now, as I think as you get older, I've known of other people that feel this way as well. Like you sort of go, oh yeah, Blur are definitely better. Like they just are, like, even though they're not part of my childhood, like I
think you can get to the age though where you can appreciate effort as well more than you can what you listen to. Does that make sense? Like,
no, I know what you mean.
No, what do you mean?
Just like, I don't know about you, but like, I've researched a lot of stuff. Not a lot, but like I'm just interested to find out how they've gone about it and behind the scenes and things like that.
Sorry, I think what you're implying is that Parklife tried harder than Oasis in terms of writing songs.
You mean Blur?
Sorry, Blur, but that's no Parklife.
Yeah. Good name for a band though.
Yeah, well,
I'm sure they are a band.
Yeah, but for me, I don't know. I've never really given Blur much of a listen. I know 2 songs, so I can't.
But they're great songs.
They are, but I can't. Off those 2 songs, I can name many Oasis songs. But then again, that Stop the Clocks compilation album is just fantastic. And when I was younger, I still like it now, but I really enjoy just heavy guitars, loud drums, and like. I don't think Liam Gallagher is necessarily a good singer, but I think for Oasis that helps them more.
It works. It works.
Just works.
I know what you mean.
Like when I see Liam Gallagher live, like. It's not. He's good. I still think he's good because he's got the band around him, and like they're still real good. And he's hired the right people for him now because he's obviously doing his solo career. But he's just like when you hear him on the album, like he can actually hold that, and he can hold a note for 5 seconds, whereas live he can hold it for half a second.
Yeah.
It's just kind of not the same. But still, I think Oasis. I still listen to Stop the Clocks today, and. It's still, I love Oasis, and Mum hates them though. My mum hates them. She hates Wonderwall.
What's why? Is it just because it's overplayed and?
Well, she just hates Liam Gallagher, and
I think that's maybe why I don't like Oasis as well.
I love Liam, and I think like Noel. He's a great musician, but plank of wood he is.
Well, I just think
What?
that Liam. Noel
Boring.
Gallagher. Yeah,
Noel
Noel
Gallagher.
Gallagher is not boring.
Plank
If you
of
watch
wood.
interviews with him, he's very arrogant, and I think that comes across as boring because he's so reserved. But I think he can be very funny. I've read some really funny interviews with him, and
Liam Gallagher's twice as arrogant as.
Yeah,
I just think the only
Liam's
reason
such a
Liam
knobhead.
Gallagher has rise to what he is now, and he's accessing so many people nowadays, the younger people of today's society,
Twitter.
is social media. Yeah, he's mastered the social media. He's been able to talk to these young'uns.
Do you remember that tweet he put out, and it was just dilly dilly LG
Yeah.
with a kiss.
And when Noel Edmonds came out of I'm a Celeb, he was like, "There's only one Noel." And it's just like, it's little things like that. People just love it.
I just put. I remember it was a few months ago. He put, "Oi Noel, let's get the big old back together." And then it was like 2 days later. It's just like, I'll take that as a no then.
It's just
He's real funny.
He is
I
funny.
was praying at the Ariana Grande Manchester concert that
you
when she
can.
said we got a special announcement coming up later, I was like, okay, there's only one thing that this can mean. That's Oasis getting back together.
That's
And-
because there was the song, wasn't it, that they kept singing.
yes,
Of
yeah.
course.
Sally can, is it?
Don't look back.
Is
in
it-
Don't
anger.
look back in anger.
Yeah.
And there
That's
was,
the lyrics.
and like she just kept saying we got a huge.
What did it
huge
turn out to
announcement.
be?
It was
Just
just
Liam.
Liam. It was just Liam.
Wow.
And yeah, it's just it's like you just
And it didn't help that
praying
his
for that.
bassist looked just like Noel as well. So when the camera just like slightly went onto him, me and my housemates screamed when we
Yeah.
saw him. But no, it was
And then
just
you
someone
realise he was
alike.
playing the bass, and that's not Noel Gallagher.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. Oasis, Blur. Leave it in the comments. Who do you prefer?
That's like a little rhyme. That
Yeah.
Oasis,
Blur.
Blur. Who do you prefer?
Yeah. Maybe I should start my rap career. What have I been doing my whole life?
Well, speaking of rap, I'm guessing your artist of choice is...
Well, because I've just mentioned
Seamless
Oasis.
transition.
I just mentioned
Yeah.
Oasis. I want you two to go. I'm going to save my pick for a bit later.
Oh, really? Gonna finish on a high, are we? With
Might
that
as
one?
well. Might as well finish on the highest.
Oh, we'll see.
You'll find out about that soon then, I guess. But
Yeah.
Okay, well, yeah, transitioning from Oasis, I'm going to talk about my artist. Sorry, I stole this one from Tom.
Oh.
Did
No,
you
no,
not?
go
No,
for
you
it,
weren't
go
going to
for
talk
it.
about them?
No,
Okay, fair
no,
enough. So I think the step from Oasis to Arctic Monkeys is a pretty small one. I got into them because for some reason, I don't know how I originally started, but I used to buy The NME. I actually used to buy copies of it as like a 14, 15-year-old. And they were just, anyone that is familiar with The NME, even if you've never bought it, you'll know how much they just rim Arctic Monkeys. They're just like constantly talking about them, constantly talking about Alex Turner, which is fair enough. I think this was about 2011, and I think, yeah, it was Suck It and See that came out, and they gave it a 9 out of 10. And I remember they did like a whole spread on it. They did a real long, really interesting review of it. And so I thought, oh, right, I've got to check this out. And I think a few issues later, they did top albums of the decade. I don't know why. It wasn't like a round number. It wasn't 2010. I don't know why they did a top albums of the decade, but they put, stop sneezing.
Sorry.
They put their debut, whatever people say I am, that's what I'm not, very high up. I can't remember what number, but they published the original review that they did of that, which was a 10 out of 10, obviously. And so I was like, right, I've got to get into this. And I think I bought both the albums, their fourth and their first, at the same time. And I did quite like Suck It and See. I liked it a lot. I thought so many of the lyrics were just so poetic and wonderful. And Alex Turner obviously getting over a very serious heartbreak at the time. And a couple of heavy bangers on there as well. But it was their first one that was like, just absolutely blew me away. Like I remember, like I think I had it on in the car on the way back from like the shops or something, and I was just like listening to it, and honestly there isn't a bad track on it. Like there's not a bad, and it's just amazing that the whole album is about like a night out in Sheffield, or it's about like fancying someone, or like the concepts are so minute, and it's the fact that he's singing in our accent. I said, well, maybe it's stronger, but you know, and he's just referencing stuff that we know, and like obviously being from, I'm not from Sheffield, but we're kind of from the northeast, all of us, and so it just was, I've never known a rock album to be so accessible, so innovative, and it just completely blew me away, and it's still one of my favourites to this day.
Yeah.
Rolls a riot van. That was my dad's favourite. Even though
Really?
it's
So
a
good.
nothing-
That's like the worst song,
Yeah,
wasn't it?
probably
Even though
is,
they're not
probably
bad.
is,
It's
yeah.
just a nothing song, but yeah.
I just...
think my favourite, sorry, no. go
No,
on.
well, I was just going to say that lyrically in the album, it's crazy. It's crazy how what he's talking about, like you said, it's just so day-to-day weekend life in Sheffield is so relatable, but it's said in such a weird way. I love it. I love it. Go on then, what's your favourite track?
My favourite track, well, it depends what mood I'm in. I think if I'm in like a sing-songy mood, it's got to be Mardy Bum.
Right.
But if I'm cleaning, then Fake Tales of San Francisco
Oh.
is great. I just love that song so much. There's so many different layers to it.
Yeah.
You're not
yeah.
from New York City, you're from Rotherham.
Yeah,
Just still
so-
one of my
Great.
favourite lines.
Yeah.
So good.
I like Dancing Shoes.
Good
Oh,
one.
That is a-
dance.
Yeah, that's probably my
just the
favourite
beginning
from
of that is just
Yeah, it's unbelievable, isn't
puts you in the
it?
mood to go out.
It's just
If that
perfect
isn't on your
album.
playlist, then what you doing?
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's between Marnie Bum and I Bet You Look Good on the Dance Floor. It's just,
Oh, classic.
yeah,
Classic ones there.
very, very both just mainstream Arctic Monkeys songs, but they're just so great. So
Yeah.
how
Yeah.
can you not love them?
I
Yeah.
think mine would be A Certain Romance.
Oh, that's a cute one.
Yeah, well, it's kind of it's such a great ender to the album. It's so whimsical and it's a little bit. It just feels like the morning after to like the whole album. Like that's kind of
That's
yeah,
a great way to put it.
yeah. It's and I like the whole like he loves where he's from, but he needs to get away from there. And the people are great, but they also kind of grind you down. And it's just yeah, I love it.
It didn't take him long to run away from
No.
Sheffield. And after I think it was the Humbug, the third album, he was in America, and that's it.
Yeah.
He's gone forever. He's never returned.
He was only 19, wasn't he, when he started out? So.
Yeah. So, but I like AM from Arctic
great.
Monkeys. That's my favourite album by them.
Everybody
Surprisingly.
hating that when it first came out because it was so different to like.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
I hated
stuff.
it. I hated
Did
it.
you? To be honest, I was like, this is weird.
I think
yeah.
Enemy gave it 9 or 10.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking it was a 4.
Really?
Like, I liked... Because I think I liked about 4 songs on it. But yeah, I do get the appeal now and I do like it. But unfortunately, in the next album, he continued to slow his roll. So slow that it almost ground to a stop.
Yeah, I remember him saying like, in the first few albums, they constantly just made noise throughout it, whereas he then learnt that actually just having silence and leaving some would increase. It would make the song better, but I think he pushed it too far in the last one.
Do you think though that AM was like when it first came out, it was kind of ahead of current musical times?
I think it went back. It went backwards
Do you? I
to
thought
more
it was-
classic albums.
I thought it was quite. I think it was. He was just trying to keep up with the time. So do you think maybe in like a year or two we'll maybe look back on Hotel Casino and be like, maybe this is okay?
All of the renowned musicians, you know, like Guy Garver from Elba, people like that who make good music, have all said that Tranquility Base is a masterpiece. But because we are so used to hearing what it was like before, I don't think, and it's not necessarily our taste.
Yeah,
We're not
I
going
think-
to like
I think
it, are
that's-
we,
That's the
really?
main thing that he's like. He's turned into this. We all kind of look. Well, I personally look at him a bit of like an obnoxious, like
Hipster.
well, not even a
Yeah.
hipster, just like this guy that's kind of a hipster that's
I
He's
see him
just-
as
looking to the future and is like, I think the music is good, but it's just not as good.
I think he's just so aware of his own brilliance and his own abilities that he can just kind of do what he wants and it'll either be great or it'll be considered great. So he just
Sounds
kind
like
of
Kanye.
yeah, it's a lot like Kanye actually. Alex Turner and Kanye West, who has the bigger ego?
well,
I
yeah.
think we both know the answer.
Well, yeah, definitely. I think Alex Turner doesn't have an ego, and I think it's more of a act. Like when you're on stage, it's daunting. So
Oh,
to put a mask
I don't
over, I
think
think
he's
that's what
cocky
it
on
is.
stage, Al. So me and Tom like saw him. Oh, I think we mentioned that in a previous podcast.
You probably did, yeah. You mentioned it a bit.
And he didn't seem cocky at all. Like he
I just
wasn't
think-
throwing his weight around or anything. I do think he was a bit shy, really.
Well, if
And
his
in
songs are
interviews,
slow,
he
he's
is
not gonna
shy.
Yeah,
throw
he is
himself
shy in
around.
interviews.
I think
Well,
he
they
is
did, I
shy,
bet you
yes,
looked on the
yeah.
dance floor.
But then I thought you said they slowed it right down.
Yeah, they did
Yeah.
slow it down. Yeah, they
So-
slowed a lot of it down. But if you played 2,000 shows all your life and you're constantly getting interviewed, I think you're going to mix it up a bit, aren't you? At first, he was very outspoken and he was slagging off Coldplay and politics and stuff like that and whatever. And now he's kind of relaxed a bit. I don't know. He's just getting older, I guess. Things change.
He's
He
like
doesn't live in
31.
Sheffield. Yeah, well, yeah. But he doesn't live in Sheffield anymore, does he? Why would he write about going out
Oh
to
no,
the
I
pub in
definitely don't
Sheffield?
think. No, 100%. I think the subject should have and did change because yeah, like you say, he's a big LA guy now and he's moved to the States and everything.
He shaved
Well, I
his
mean, AM and Suck It and See still had pretty alright themes and everything. It was just about love and life and all that jazz, but now it's about the biggest monster truck flip in the world or whatever, when it's just gone a little bit off the deep end.
My name's Mark, please. How can I direct you?
Yeah. Well, I'm guessing drugs must have taken place in the writing of those songs. I can't, unless there's some hidden motive behind it that we haven't seen yet. But
Bit of acid.
yeah, I would think so.
I mean, all the greats did drugs, didn't they?
Of
They've
course.
all-
Let's be honest.
Yeah.
Of course. It's like you can't get
Can't get a good track without a bit
can't
of.
make a good album
crack.
without it, can you?
Well, it's not.
For
Yeah.
some.
I am the
Some.
walrus and all that kind of jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not complaining.
I just like it. Maybe not Tranquility Base Hotel or whatever, but I like the change. I'm just excited to see what they do next. Will they go back
Well-
to their old school stuff just to win over
Absolutely
Or will
not.
they-
No, they
No,
won't.
yeah.
No, they won't.
I
No.
guarantee their next. I don't guarantee, but it'll be even funnier if their next album was like 2.5 hours and each song was like 7 minutes long and like
Just him screaming.
3 beats per minute.
Yeah.
Like you're waiting for the drum or the guitar and you're like 30 seconds in. There it is.
People
And
will
then-
still critically acclaim it no matter
Yeah.
what.
Yeah.
But
Do you
it'll be
not think they'll
interesting to see what they do
disappear
next.
for like a few years now, or do you think they'll come up with another album?
Took them 5 years to get this one out.
That's what I'm saying. Like, hibernate and then
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah. Who's your favourite or one of your favourites, Tom?
Oh, yeah. Well, Arctic Monkeys is one of them, but I chose...
Stolen. You cannot
Yeah.
say them ever
Well-
again.
well, no, I'm glad Beth picked it, 'cause that means I can talk about
two.
two things that I love, and even Gorillaz, but Ed's is a no-go. But anyway, mine is Rage Against the Machine. Whoa.
Killing
Crazy. Yeah,
it's
so
the only song I know,
different.
so you're gonna have to teach me.
Well...
It's the only
I
song
d-
I know as well.
Oh god, well, this is going to be a
Wake
brief
up.
talk then, isn't it? Yeah, I just think that they are just fantastic. Yeah, I can't even remember when I really got into them. It's probably
30 minutes ago.
listening to Kerrang back in the day on TV,
Nice.
listening
Oh,
or watching it
wow.
on TV. That swapping between that and Scuzz, which is
Scuzz.
now closed
That's
down.
a
Rest
Sky
in
privilege.
peace.
I was a Freeview child.
Yeah, well, you see.
So
I was also a child of the Freeview.
a child of the Freeview.
I had Virgin Atlantic and Sky.
Okay, Tom, carry on.
Privilege.
Let's not
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. I just think that they were. I just think they make some of the best
Meaty.
music, some of the meaty
noise.
riffs. Yeah, I think
Good live.
well, no, we only saw Prophets of Rage, which is like a parody band of Rage Against the Machine. To be quite honest, it's
Who is
not
it,
the
a
same
parody band?
because
We've got all
first of all,
the original people.
Zach, no, the lead singer isn't there. He made that, and then they brought in members from Public Enemy and Cypress Hill, and just not the same.
Right,
Just not the
I see what you
same.
mean. They were
But-
good though.
Great. I think it's some of the best guitar riffs you could ever ask for in all of their albums. Better than Eric Clapton. Better than John Lennon and Paul McCartney. They're just the best. Tom Morello is a genius. So, on that note, no one else can add to this conversation. So just take my word for it, guys. Rage Against the Machine are better than all of these other people that these Amy and Beth and Ed are suggesting.
I don't think they're better, but I think my uncle Andrew.
Just hold that thought.
There you go.
Nice.
I mean, I was torn between these and Nirvana, again, bands from the 90s. And I just think that around that time it was just some great music
As you
from
know.
both America and England with Oasis and whatever.
There was definitely a big surge in the 90s of great bands.
Yeah.
And we're now in the dip of that because I can't think of many new bands that are like really, really...
Meaty.
Yeah,
Drench.
we're in a real hip-hop R&B
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
era,
It's
aren't
sad. It's sad because
It's
it's
not
not my
sad,
it's not my
no.
personal taste.
I'd say
I
like
think
the
it's sad because a lot of sorry to
No,
put in,
no, go
but
on.
I think a lot of bands nowadays, I can't think of a specific other than the Wombats right now, but they're Let's Dance with Joy Division. What was that album called?
A Guide to Love.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
that one. That's quite like a heavy, meaty, like dance around like a doofus. And then they brought this new album out, and it's like it's totally catering to.
I
Yeah,
really like it. I like the
I
new
just-
stuff.
I
like
found it a bit
too,
bland,
but
yeah.
it
It is a bit bland,
so
yes.
that's-
But
yeah.
I mean, I can't believe you're comparing Let's Dance to Joy Division to
killing in
the
the name of.
crazy left politic views of Rage Against the Machine during the whole
No. I'm just.
political
I'm
era
not
of
talking
that
about
time.
lyrics. I'm not talking about like political agendas. I'm just talking about what it sounds like.
Even then,
Oh yeah,
the
obviously
Wombats have
killing,
nothing.
killing Rage Against the Machine are very, very meaty. But I couldn't think of a specific. But I think a lot of bands nowadays are more interested in money,
Well,
and they cater a lot to
I'd think
what,
that
like
Rage Against the
generally
Machine
what people
started the
listen
whole
to.
rap metal, new metal thing, which then got taken over by Linkin Park, who are another honourable mention, and then it kind of just died a death.
Well,
really.
there's a band called Death Grips who kind of incorporate many.
Fantana.
Kind
Carry
of,
on.
yes, that's literally. And like this one guy from uni always batted on about them. So apparently, Death Grips are meant to be. No, I don't want to say the new Rage Against the Machine, but I'd say a modern take on that style that you've
You're
just
killing me
mentioned.
inside, Ed.
I'm not killing you inside. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. Tell me if I'm wrong.
You're
But-
wrong.
All right.
Well,
I only
yeah.
like Get Got, which I think is their most accessible song. I have listened to them. I've tried,
Okay.
but it is noise. Like they're not lying. It's noise. And I'm not saying if it's bad or good. I'm just saying it's not for me. I wish I
Fair
could
enough.
get it, but
Yeah.
I don't.
I think
have to say it's bad.
there are a lot of artists that do that nowadays as well. Like as you were saying before, that because they've got this reputation and they can, like Alex Turner, they can just do whatever they want and everyone just thinks they're musical geniuses. I think a lot of Kanye West stuff.
Right now
is,
you brought.
there is like noise
you-
and everyone's
Yeah,
like, oh,
but I think you've
Current
earned
stuff,
respect
yes, yeah.
to be able to
Yeah.
to go out and branch out and do those things.
Okay.
People have been doing it from the 60s through to now. It happens all the time.
You've opened the door. She's
I've
opened the door. We've mentioned
Let's
his
lead
name.
on.
My favourite artist is Kanye West. For a number of I know. For a number of reasons. Politics aside, media aside,
Okay.
I think he is. We had this argument the other day, but I'll say one of the most influential artists of this century so far. When he 21 Grammys he's won.
Stop
by
looking
the way.
at me.
That's very impressive. 21 Grammys
21
cannot be
Grammys,
overlooked.
That is more than Queen, I believe. More than
Let
a
me just
lot.
verify those
You can
facts.
verify that,
Well,
but that is.
That doesn't mean he's better than Queen.
No, I'm not saying that, but clearly
It definitely
he's won-
helps.
21 Grammys. It's not. They're not just given out, are they? Anyway,
Well, apparently they are.
for me, he is one of the smartest, wittiest writers and one of the best producers around at the moment. I'd say, just to knock him down a peg, his new stuff, I listened to Ye, I didn't like it. I tried listening to Kids See Ghosts, I could barely get through 2 of the songs. So his new stuff, certainly from this year, I have not appreciated. But for me, his best album is his 2010 album, My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy, and I could just every song bar one maybe is an 8 out of 10, and the bar one is a 6 out of 10.
What's that one?
It's the one with it's just him and Jay-Z. I'll double check, but I absolutely love that album. There's songs that I could fall asleep to. There's songs that I could
Also, it's boring.
Nice.
that send me to sleep.
Good.
But I can't explain how much I love this album. It's one of my favourite albums. Might be my favourite album. So Appalled, that's the one I don't like. So Appalled, I'm not
Yeah,
keen on.
yeah.
So it's not. Okay.
But I've got 3 people against me here.
I'm
But
not against
Hey,
you.
no, I'm not against you. No,
we like
no.
we like some of his music,
I-
but
And we're not talking about his political beliefs.
No,
we're
His
talking about
outside of
music.
music. We're talking about music. Unfortunately.
but like you got songs like Power and all
iconic
all of the
songs.
lights, flashing lights, Can't Tell Me Nothing, and then
Well, that wasn't on My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy. But
like encompassing all of his albums at least. Like, and for me, my 2 favorite Kanye songs are on that album. That's Runaway, which is a 9-minute epic of
Yeah, you did that in karaoke, didn't you?
I did, yeah, I did. Thanks.
Did you regret
Felt
that?
like 9 minutes.
Did you regret
before.
that? Yeah.
I
You stopped it early as well.
But it was great. I love Runaway because like the first verse is Kanye admitting to his wrongdoings to this woman. Then the second verse is that his egotistical self coming out and saying like, oh whatever, you know, I don't need you, you need me. And I thought it was brilliant, and it just somehow it's based around 4 notes on a piano, and it's just magnificent. And then my other favourite song of his is Lost in the World, which is a song that just makes me feel so many different things. And for me right now, it makes me kind of feel a bit sad, but it's made me feel uplifted, excited, but also really just sad and almost kind of like lonely, being like the song Lost in the World, like we're on the other side of the world at the moment, and it's kind of poignant for me at the moment. I said at the moment a lot, and I love a lot of his stuff. I think he's great. He's hard to ignore, that's for sure.
I will just say, you're not on your own here. I'm a big Kanye fan. Again, bar his last 2 albums. And I also think that he's one of the most influential artists of the century. I'm a big fan. I really liked Graduation.
Yeah,
I really like Life of Pablo.
808s as well.
808s. Love
Songs on
Lockdown
Life of Pablo
is...
that were strange. Like, I remember
it's
listening
dead
to that,
strange.
and I was just like, there's maybe 2 songs on that I thought were really good.
I just love a good sample. He does a good
Yeah,
he kills
he's
it with
good.
that. Not gonna lie.
I'd say he's definitely arguably the best sampler of music.
Yeah, we was discussing that as well, wasn't we?
He has such a wide. Yeah, this Fatboy Slim. I know you like him.
Maybe.
But
Anyway.
he has such a wide. Like he just seems to know every single song that's ever been made. Like he's like the amount of times he's used Nina Simone. But then Nina Simone is one of the most sampled artists ever. But the way he uses her song "Strange Fruit" for "Blood on the Leaves" is just haunting. It's really, really horrible. And Jesus has grown on me as well. I still don't think it's a great album, but it's...
See, I love Jesus.
That's
I
the most
loved it.
accessible one for me,
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And
Probably because of the whole Black Skinhead kind of thing
Yeah,
that
Black
started
Skinhead's
it, and
a great
then
song. Like for me, like when I first listened to it all the way through, I was like, this isn't great. But then like there's songs like I think it was Guilt Trip and Hold My Liquor, Black Skinhead, and I love Bound To. Bound To is one of my favourite songs. And yeah, it's just... And 808s is fantastic album, and that album still has so much influence to this day than more people realise, I think. But
Oh, are you going to say there's no Drake without Kanye West?
no, I'm not. Even though I think a lot of current artists are thankful for Kanye. It's hard to say that there would be no this without this, but certainly Kanye opened the door for a lot of people.
yeah,
I think I would be more positive about him if he was less obnoxious and less of a toxic personality, because he is such a big influence. He's got so many followers. I mean, like the Kardashians, like
Yeah.
as well. They're like a huge.
they're toxic people as well, though.
But Kanye has taken it too far.
Kylie has a
He's-
lip kit. What are you saying?
He is just like, he's completely taken it too far.
Yeah, the whole Donald Trump thing. Yeah.
I just think he's a toxic person, and for me that really like dampens his whole music for me. I just think he's not worth
it dampens
my
your
time
opinion
at
of him. Yes, so the music.
I
me,
can't
isn't
separate
bad.
him from his music. I just
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
To be fair, he puts a lot of his opinions and
Exactly.
self-beliefs into his music, but I still like...
If it was just sound, fair enough, but I can hear him. I can hear him saying things.
I know,
I'm like,
I
nope.
know. He's certainly now if people want to get into him now, say like a 13-year-old stumbles across him because they saw his rants on Twitter about
Maybe my brother will
Drake.
get into him.
Yeah, like for me, I think this current generation growing up, a lot of teenagers, I think they'll find it harder to get into Kanye than certainly I did. But I mean, even before albums like Graduation, Gold Digger is still played every day in the club.
Oh yeah.
Um,
You forget just how many he has on his.
yeah.
How many
Yeah.
greatest hits he has.
He has.
Gold Digger was like, I remember that coming out. I remember people
Yeah.
Bluetoothing that to each other.
Weird
those
Al
were the
did a
days.
cover of that.
Did he?
Yeah.
Bluetoothing songs to each other.
I
Wow.
knew Weird Al's version before, and then I was like, oh.
What was his version called?
Oh, it was just in a medley song that he did. So it wasn't like he didn't switch up the words. Anyway.
Right.
Brilliant.
So it wasn't like White and Nerdy.
No, it wasn't like I'll sue ya. That's
Rage Against the Machine.
Rage Against the
Yeah,
Machine.
yeah.
Yeah, that's a great one.
But sorry, when Kanye started, he was just very different to that current crop of rappers. Like there was Eminem, 50 Cent. They were all like, "I'ma fucking kill you.
Yeah.
Don't step to me." And Kanye was talking about his mum and religion and life and just different experiences. And
now he's like, I'm a fucking kill
and
you.
now he's like, his song Today I Thought About Killing You is whatever that is about.
Crazy stuff.
It's just
Probably
strange.
about killing someone.
I think it was ironic. Regardless.
I won't put it past him.
That is, I mean, that kind of just talking about politics and personalities, and that kind of sometimes dampens my opinion of Eminem just because of how often he's like, I want to kill my mum, I want to kill my girlfriend. Like that is about 50% of his songs have that kind of theme running through them, and he kind of hasn't really grown out of it, even though he's like in his 40s.
Not a fan of Eminem. Never have. Never will.
No, I think he's got some great music, and I think lyrically he's fantastic. I think he deserves all of his success.
Plaudits,
But you know, sometimes when he has that kind of wife beater vibe about him that sometimes you're like,
Yeah.
puts you off.
But yeah. So for me, I think Kanye's great. Kanye's great, and I'll continue to listen to him regardless of what he says in the papers and stuff. Yeah, of course.
What would he have to say for you to be like, right, I'm switching off forever?
I'm a rapist.
Okay, well that's good. That's good that is.
That's your.
At least you've drawn a line.
Yeah. I mean,
I'm sure I
but
got a line further back as
Donald
well.
Trump is a rapist, pretty inarguably, and Kanye supports him.
Oh.
Kanye revoked his stuff.
See,
didn't
that was
he?
just so. Ugh, it just.
But no, but this
it
is
just said
this
it all
is-
really.
this
But he
is-
like took it all back.
This is of course he did. He had to.
Oh,
he
it
probably.
was just like
But like, Kanye, fine. Donald Trump is a racist. Kanye supported a racist. Kanye's not a rapist. Sorry, and
I know it is
just
hard
it's
to
blurred lines.
Yeah.
But for me, like, yeah,
you
it
can't
was-
just be like, oh, blurred lines, let it go.
I can actually. I can. So, yeah, I will still continue to listen to Kanye as long as he makes music and as long as he doesn't say stuff that's even crazier than the stuff he came out with this year. But he's entitled to, at the end of the day, he is entitled to his opinion. Some of the stuff that he said was stupid, like the whole 13th Amendment. That was, he does not know history at all. But he is entitled to his opinion. He's not the only loudmouth Donald Trump supporter. He may be the loudest, but he's not the only one.
No, he's not the only one, but
But
he's
is
the
the-
one with the biggest influence of people that hate Donald
And
Trump.
he's the type of person that
Not ev-
shouldn't
And
like
it's annoying
Donald Trump.
because it's annoying
Why?
because I know that his
I'm not going to go into those details.
Yeah, I
he's
know.
got ulterior
Blurred lines.
motives, which was just to promote himself. He just wants to
Exactly.
cause controversy to get more sales, and I'm just
But-
think that's toxic. It's
What?
just
It
Who
is toxic,
hasn't done
but
that
now
before?
with this whole
Not
Drake
to that
thing,
extent.
it's backfiring because yes, we're talking about it a bit, but at the end of the day, no one gives a shit. Snoop Dogg made a video about how he and
That was
nobody
great.
gives a shit.
Yeah.
That was great.
So I think if
From
he
what I've
does
seen,
keep doing stuff like
loads
this,
of people were supporting Drake over Kanye
yeah.
as well. So I was
It's
like,
because-
well, that backfired, didn't it?
While Drake is a bit of a lemon sometimes,
He is, isn't he?
generally he minds his own business. Like, you know,
Just gonna put it out there. I prefer Drake,
That's fine.
and I prefer his music.
That's fine.
oh, I think that's a bit hard. I think I'd actually have to go with Kanye.
I think it's just
but
because I've listened to
Name
more Drake.
3 Drake songs.
Oh, really?
At least they're 10.
I'm joking.
I could do, by the way, if you want
I'm
me
sure
to.
you could.
No, please
I was
don't.
teasing
Don't post
you.
through
I
that.
was teasing you. Yeah.
I
well,
think just next subject,
Yeah.
which kind of leads on from Kanye West, Drake, and is what we're all a big fan of, and I'm very jealous that you've seen them, is Brockhampton.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Going on with the noise, that I think they're sort of classified as noise rap as well, especially their latest one. But
they call themselves a boy band, don't they?
Sorry, I forgot. Yeah, they're a boy band.
But mainly rap. They're mainly rap, aren't they? Hip hop.
Yeah.
Rap and a bit of soul as well, but they're fantastic.
It was crazy actually. I was trying to think of artists to talk about because I knew we were doing this podcast like whilst I was in the shower, and I was thinking my like favourite artists that I'm like of all time are nothing to do with the music that I'm currently listening to. Like Joji, Brockhampton, like Gorillaz don't have, and Christine and the Queens, like they don't have any, like they're nothing alike.
I'm sure one of them probably influenced Brockhampton at some point, you know?
You never know.
You never know. Maybe not in Journey, but yes.
You never know. You never. I went to see Rat Boy, and he was like, "Oh, my biggest influence is Demon Days," and I was like,
yeah, but Rat Boy's trash. Carry on.
Rat Boy's not trash.
So Brockhampton.
Well, I was just kind of gonna open it to the floor, really. Since we all love them so much, and I love how. What is there, like 10 of them? Maybe?
There's, I think in total, there's like seven or eight performers, and then the rest are like producers and execs, and they're just.
I just love that. I love that they all work so well, you know, amongst each other, and I kind of love. I feel like they've got it all spot on. They've got their politics sorted out. They've got their image sorted out. They, you know, when unfortunately Amir was. Accused of some shady things earlier this year.
Yeah, it was this year. It was. I was
sad about that.
Yeah, I was real sad because Amir he had probably the best lyrics on some of the Saturation
albums. The founder as well.
No, Kevin.
Kevin for sure. But he had some of the best lyrics. But the way that the rest of the group handled that was perfect. Like they pushed back the album, reworked it. We don't know, with Amir on, Iridescence may well have been better, but he did bad shit and they cut him out, which was real good of what they did. And
also
Iridescence is still a decent album. I still
now
like
Iridescence has I can't remember which track it is, but I think it's Kevin rapping about it, and he's just talking about how he's a little bit cut up, and that's now a theme of Iridescence, is the fact that they've just lost a member, and it kind of shows into the sadder, darker side of it. And I just love. I think they probably were influenced by Gorillaz or Demon Days just because of how experimental they are and how.
Definitely, I would say Brockhampton are like super innovative. I don't think I've ever heard a group or like. I think they are like very, very different. Like.
Who
do you know that there's so many of them that
it's new, like, it's exciting, isn't it? Everybody has
and they
a part of something.
They're just
so
Blazing Squad, but it just all works really nicely.
It's like, for me, off the top of my head, Boogie, because that involves pretty much nearly every single member.
Really?
Just like Kevin, then Amir, and then it was like Matt Champion, and then Merlin, and then they all just bounce off each other so well, and it's just like the way that they make a 3.5-4 minute song just like that, and they just goes right by. And Boogie, I think Boogie is probably my favourite album.
So good live.
Great live.
It was really good live. They were exactly like that live. They just all bounced off each other.
So it's such a bouncy song as well. It's just so loud.
I've never seen a band so energetic before. Like they were so crazy energetic. And
they will be like that in 10 or 15 years time.
I bet they will.
They'll quit by then. I think they'll probably.
I
think they'll call it. I thought I heard them having a plan of just riding it until it's ready to stop.
Maybe they're gonna do a trilogy of trilogies. So obviously they did Saturation.
Yeah.
I don't know if Iridescence is going to be a trilogy of some sort. I'm not sure if it's going to be called. The next two albums is going to be Iridescence 2. Oh really?
I thought it was called Puppy or something.
There was going to be Puppy. I think that's the one that got pushed back, if not completely gone when Amir went. But I read an interview, I think it was with Kevin, and they were saying about how they don't want Brockhampton to just be a band. They want to be like a whole. They want to be like producers of movies and do this, that, the other.
Wow.
They want to be, because obviously they're all very multi-talented. They want to have their fingers in a lot of pies. Really, they want to do
Yeah.
a lot
They
of
can
things.
so do that. Like,
Yeah.
they're so cool. They
They're
just
talented
they could
as
do anything,
hell.
and we'd be like, damn,
They're
that's
so
cool.
talented. They're whoever, like, if they write their own verses, that's just insane. Like, every single one of them can write to a very good standard. Yeah, I love their Saturation albums. They're works of just genius, and the fact that they released them within like 8 or 9 months of each other is mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's mad, isn't it?
Mind blowing.
Who's your favourite member?
Kevin, yeah, Kevin or Joba. Joba's strange because his singing is odd, and it is auto-tuned to an extent, but I just kind of like that. It's almost raspy. It's strange, but I like it. Matt Champion is great as well, but for me, even though he doesn't feature much on Iridescence, for me it's Kevin.
I don't really pay much attention to Matt Champion. Everyone always goes on about him, but mine was Kevin on the Saturation albums. I think for now, mine is either Joba or Merlin.
Yeah, Merlin's
I think he's
love.
Merlin, yeah.
Yeah, they're both great, and I love. Joba is just so recognisable in everything.
Mm.
Well, they're both
Yeah.
the most recognisable,
Yeah.
I think.
Mm.
What about you two?
I'd say the same as you, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like I said, Merlin.
Merlin.
I think he's just a...
Merlin.
Yeah, it's...
They've
yeah,
got such
yeah.
great names as well.
I think it's just the most kind of... I don't know, bit of a character.
It's a total character.
Who's the bigger dude? Which one's that? He's a bit bigger.
I think that's Merlin or...
Merlin is not big.
He's
Merlin
thick
is
thin.
a-
He's thick
is a-
thin.
yeah.
No. I can't remember. He seems...
They've all got very
barrel-lashed.
different names, but yeah. I think we should talk about who we've seen live since...
How long you
Amy
got?
cannot
That could be-
speak.
Pick your favourite artist that you've seen live.
Fantastic.
Because I've only seen a couple, but...
God, that is a difficult question.
Well, shall I go then while you think, or Beth goes while or Tom goes while
I'm
you
going to say one,
think.
and then I've got 2 honourable mentions. Is that allowed?
Yeah, of
Sure, go
course.
for it. Yeah.
Okay, so my number 1 is Christine and the Queens.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I think, like we've spoken about this before, this was at Big Weekend when they came to Hull.
Where?
Say that again louder for Beth.
And I'd only ever heard Tilted before, and I think like we just saw it because there was no one else to see. But
I wanted to see it.
Yeah, we wanted
I
to
wanted
see
to
it.
see
Like
it.
Tilted is a great song, but we didn't know anything. Like I'd never heard anything from her Shallow Men album, and I've never been so stunned and like blown away by her performance. It was just incredible. Like her dancing, and the music was just. It was a true performance. Like it was
fantastic.
it was amazing, yeah.
Yeah.
And then that whole week, I was just listening to that album on repeat, and like Antoine Quité is like my favourite song. It's just a work of art. Narcissus is back, and then her new album is just great as well. So honourable mentions, AC/DC. They were great. They were really good. And then probably Gorillaz or Future Islands.
Yeah,
They
you said
were
2
really-
honourable mentions, but
That's
you've listed
3.
3.
Yeah, okay, well,
Well, to be fair,
Gorillaz and...
you've touched on Gorillaz, so
yeah. So Future Islands, I have to say, he
Yeah.
was like their albums, or the one album that I'd listened to, I was like, oh, it's gonna be a really chill performance. It was not. He was crazy. Like
So-
Sam is the lead singer is nuts.
A background to Future Islands is they're a very synthy, calm band with a bit of very good bass line
Great
within
bass,
it, but Sam, the lead singer, shouts like he's in a heavy metal band, which just
Yeah.
doesn't seem to
And I
fit,
was like, oh, I don't really like it, but
but it does.
it's amazing.
It works.
Yeah.
I've never listened to them, and because of all the hype you two have given them, I'm gonna have to do it.
Well,
I think you would
Fantana,
love Future Islands.
Fantana gave
Amazing.
their most recent album, a quite a low rating. But he said that they've never mixed their sound up. They've kept the same
I think
sound throughout their
everyone's
like 4 or 5
fantastic.
albums.
So,
So
oh wait.
no,
Go
go
on.
on, let someone else try.
No, it's okay. You can
I've
quickly
never
say
seen them.
them.
I've never seen them live, but they're an artist I want to talk about because
Oh,
I love them.
Kanye.
who are you talking about, Ellie?
Foals.
Oh yeah,
You got 30
All
seconds.
throughout first year, I was absolutely obsessed with them. I think all 4 albums are just absolutely amazing, and I bought tickets, Well, I was going to see them at Leeds, didn't get to see them, I was heartbroken. And I feel like I'm just, like, I'm never going to get to see them. I think
They're on tour next
That's
year,
how I feel
don't worry.
about Tame Impala. That would be my quick 30-second honourable mention is
Yeah.
Tame Impala, who I got into with the Currents album, and I got into them just after they finished their tour, and then they only did a couple of festivals after that, which were in like Europe somewhere.
Yeah, they're
I
in
think.
Spain next year.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, I'm not really. Well, unless I strike rich, I'm not going to go hop over to
Really?
Spain to watch them. But yeah, they're just my new great love. I think
Tame
if I'd
Impala are
known
great.
them as long as Arctic Monkeys, they might rival them.
Really?
Yeah,
Mm.
yeah.
Oh,
Tame
my
Impala are
mate.
another, like, innovative, like, just
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
geniuses.
My mate went to see Arctic Monkeys supported by Royal Blood and Tame Impala. Imagine
Was
that.
that Hyde
Wow.
Park?
Wow.
I don't think it was Hyde
Sick.
Park. I think it was on the tour around that period.
Really?
But
Royal
imagine
Blood are
that.
Great. I
Well,
love
imagine
what
Royal
that.
about
Blood.
you?
Yeah.
You went to see Falls, who
Yes.
was supported by Peace and Everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Ooh.
could there be a better
Well,
layout than that?
again, speaking about live acts, I've seen
I hate
a few,
myself.
but Foals are the best I've ever seen, and probably, maybe not ever, will in the future, but oh god, fantastic, yeah. And I've had a few friends who I didn't know at the time who went to that same gig as me in Manchester, and they've all said it's the best they've ever been to, so it says it all really about
Yeah.
that.
Mm.
Honourable mentions would be
Also, Tom's
Arctic Monkeys.
facial hair is modelled off Giannis.
He modelled it off me.
Yeah, he saw you in the crowd, did he?
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
sick. That's a sick bob.
Yeah. Well, back then I couldn't even probably grow facial hair. Well, actually, it was 2016.
What's your favourite Falls album?
What went down?
I think for me it's between Antidotes and What Went Down. You hate Antidotes, don't you?
I don't like Antidotes.
I've listened to one song of Antidotes. I haven't listened to the
Really?
album.
Cassius.
Cassius
It's-
is just...
For me, it goes What Went Down, Total Life Forever, Antidotes, Holy
Holy
Fire.
Fire.
You don't like Holy Fire?
I
Um,
think Holy
I think
Fire is
overall it's
so
not their
cool.
best album.
I love it.
But it's got some good songs in it.
I would probably say Antidote second and then Total Life. But everything like Total Life Forever, like Black Gold.
You can
is
say
just,
they're all good though.
They
They're
are all good. They are
albums.
all good. If I could put them all on the same level, I would. But probably put What Went Down a little bit higher, just because I think every single song is just beautiful. Like Birch
Mhm.
Tree is
Yeah, that's true. It's a great
Beautiful.
song.
So who's your
Even my
favourite
mum
you've
likes
seen,
that song.
Beth?
I'll probably say the XX
Oh,
because
good
live, and you wouldn't, if you're familiar with the XX, they're very, very minimalistic music, and I didn't really know what to expect when I went to see them. I thought, is this going to be like boring? Because some of their songs are so slow, and they're very, like I say, very minimalistic, but because of that, they just held the audience in the palm of their hand the whole time. You were just there up with them, like they were just absolutely breathtaking. All members were fantastic. Their set was absolutely stunning. It was just this like spectrum of like lights and stuff that occasionally changed, and it was very. I think I saw them in I can't remember what the venue was, but it was quite small and intimate, which was nice. And then it was very cool because Jamie XX halfway through took over and did a kind of mini set of his own, and that because obviously he has his own standalone album, which is really good, very different but really good, and he played a couple of songs on that. Loud Places to hear live, him and Romy was just, I was just high as a kite after that after that gig. Yeah, that was really cool, and I'll have to say them.
List of all the bands I've seen.
Jesus,
Wow.
Jesus.
Sorry,
Amy's
you're
just showing
so
me a
cool,
list.
Amy has a
of
big long list.
bands.
I've seen about
Oh,
4
God,
or
that's
5
so relevant
cool
tonight.
people.
Tom's actually seen more than me.
Yeah.
So,
Although
I've
I've seen
only
ACDC and he
seen,
hasn't.
I've seen like maybe 4 or 5 acts
What's your
live.
favourite? I bet I can guess.
Well, you can. So I'm going to give my honourable mention first. Kings of Leon. They were the first band that I really got into. Like Only by the Night was the first album I listened to, and that's still fantastic today. And then listened to their older stuff, and they're still around today. Like unfortunately they haven't changed their style of music too much, but they're still really just easy to listen to. And
I really liked Come Around Sundown.
Yeah, no, that's grown on me a
That
lot.
got ripped into a bit, but I really liked it.
I
Yeah.
like Walls. I think it's
Was
fantastic.
Yeah, no, was
Yeah.
good. They're all good albums. None of them are. I'd say Youth and Young Manhood and Only by the Night, I'd say, are the two of their great albums, but the others are still like 6s and 7s. And they were just fantastic. That was the first like proper gig I went to, and unbelievable. I was like 14, so I was like, this is the best day of my life.
Yeah,
Will ever
yeah,
be
yeah.
the best day of my life.
14, that's a good age. For
Yeah, and it was 16. Anyway, the best act I've seen, without doubt, Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
He just, there's words fail me to describe how fantastic that show was. It was just unbelievable.
So he gave it his all then, because Amy and Tom have said that when they went to see him in Norway, he was a bit...
Wasn't asked.
To be honest, the crowd made it really.
Yeah.
It was a fantastic atmosphere, but we felt a bit let down because he didn't do as long as was advertised, and he had loads of music video intervals and videos and stuff, which were cool, but
I think his set list came to about 15 songs, maybe not even that.
It wasn't that.
And most sets of about 23 odd songs, you know.
Well, when I saw him at his show, I think he did 17. He did 17 songs, and that went on for just under an hour about an hour and 20. It was like, I would have wanted him to go on for longer, but it was like a good amount of time, because like there were his 17 best songs to do live, and that was coming off. It was coming off the back of Damn as well, and Damn is kind of waned just a little on me compared to his other stuff. Section 80, I think, is better than Damn. Good Kid, Mad City is better than Damn, and To Pimp a Butterfly is his best album. And he only did 2 songs from To Pimp.
It's sad, isn't it?
Because it's such a shame that it's not a real.
It's not a live
album.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but.
I do think that was his own gig, wasn't it? So
yes,
maybe I think maybe because we were at a festival, he treated, and it was quite a small festival. It was
Yeah, but I mean, he did
so
Reading and Leeds, and he did exactly the same set, and the
did
money that people threw at him to get him to these festivals was ridiculous. Like so much money was made for him to then play an hour and 10 minutes. You feel a bit ripped off.
And it was advertised that he was play for 2, wasn't it?
An hour and a half. But then obviously he did about 9 minutes worth of video intervals in between his songs. So it's hard. He's great. I love him. Love To Pimp a Butterfly. He was good live, but I think he could have just done more. And for that reason, I didn't even involve him in my top 5 acts I've seen.
That's fair enough.
It's a shame.
That's fair. Yeah, no. For me, he was obviously it was fantastic. Like, it's just great being in that arena, and like
the atmosphere makes it.
Oh, it was so good. It was so good. I don't want to go into this, but there was one incident. You may be able to guess which one it was. That I was like, that was really stupid of you, Kendrick. But other than that, he's had a pretty clean slate. And
right. I thought you meant that was when you went to see him.
Yeah, I was like,
whoa.
No.
Yeah.
It went viral, but I was like, that was a very stupid thing of you to
just
do.
Went viral.
Yeah, his left stroke just went viral. It took me a second. But yeah, he's releasing an album next year apparently.
Oh, cool.
So he seems to be doing one every 2 years, which
I wasn't mad at Damn. I thought Damn was a good album because I think he's peaked, like, personally.
I think he peaked at To Pimp a Butterfly, but we'll see what he does next.
Well, To Pimp a Butterfly
I thought Damn was okay.
To Pimp a Butterfly is like some of the best writing in hip hop rap history, and Damn was so commercial. It was definitely so accessible to everyone, like DNA and was in the club and whatever, and like a few other songs as well, but doesn't make an album bad. But Kendrick, when he stays in that niche of, I think if he goes back to that To Pimp a Butterfly niche, doesn't have to go back to jazz influence, but he can do something else, I'm sure, and I hope he does. And I'm looking forward to his album next year as well, because even his production work on the Black Panther album was very good. That was very good.
Yeah, I forgot he was on that. That was good. I liked it.
I never really give it a chance. probably because of the whole Marvel situation with us. But
it's a decent album. It like brings in Vince Staples, J Rock, and Schoolboy
Vince
Q,
Staples
a few
albums
others.
are great.
Yeah, but Kendrick Lamar by far the best. He
There
was
you go.
great.
There you go.
Maybe we should wrap that up then.
Maybe we should.
And speaking of raps,
Oh, nice. Yeah.
We should wrap that up then. Okay then. Well, do you want to do the outro, Tom, since you introed?
Yeah.
You hosted so well.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
remember what to say?
Completely. I'm not gonna say it, whatever it is, but
For God's sake. you have to do it.
no, I'm not
It's
gonna
a
do it.
requirement.
Thanks for listening, guys. We're planning to go to Beijing next week,
yeah. We're very
so
excited
this might be the
about
next topic you're gonna hear about.
Mm.
So please do listen into our next podcast. I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as we do.
that. And if you enjoyed this one, give it a like.
Please retweet us on Twitter.
Yes.
Follow us on Twitter.
Follow us on Twitter.
Tell your friends.
Tell your family. Dog, cat, pigeon.
And hit the subscribe button.
Also, shout out to my little brother Ethan, who's been asking for me to do a shout out for him for ages. This is kind of cringy, but hi,
Oh, it's
Ethan.
and Holly. Hi, Holly.
Yeah, but
What
she
do you
won't
call
listen
it,
to
Polly?
this. She won't get this far.
No.
I'm glad I've done it at the end now, so I'll see if he's listened to it all.
Yeah.
Good point. Okay, well, that
Hit
went
the
out of hand.
notification.
That went out of hand.
Yeah.
So, see you later, guys. Thanks for listening. Until next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye.